y'all. This is your Mexican Barbie, Lulu La Reina.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Tazz Podcast, and I am your co-host, Nene, representing Suplex the Stigma with our best friends, You Are More, and we have a new luchador guest, Lulu La Reina. What's up, Tazz?
What's up?
What up, guys? Let's get ready to rumble.
We have guests.
Okay.
We have guests. This isn't a regular podcast. Can you hear me? I don't.
Yes.
I didn't get fancy headphones. So, all right.
They brought these.
Yeah.
They
we brought
fans.
I didn't know it was
Confidence.
bring your own headphones day at the podcast.
Boom.
But thank you guys for joining us. We're very excited for episode 2 of Suplex the Stigma. Very excited to have this podcast with Lulu. So we're going to pass the torch on to you. Introduce yourself.
Well, I'm Lulu La Reina, also known as your Mexican Barbie. And, well, what do you guys want to know? What are some questions?
Where did you get that name?
Lulu La Reina?
Yes.
So that started when I first went to my first promotion to learn wrestling. It was like a last minute thing, and they asked me who inspires me, like what person inspires me, right? And I'm like, Selena. And that's how they ended up just putting Lulu La Reina. Honestly, like very fast, simple, and I kept it. Oh,
So how long have you been? How long have you been wrestling for?
so oh my god, this is like a confusing kind of story. So I started back in November of 2020. I started in a company called PPW, Premier Pro Wrestling. I was there for a year, but I'm gonna be honest, I just didn't learn anything there. I didn't even watch wrestling before that, so
Podcast over. We're done here.
but I didn't watch wrestling before that. So I thought I was learning for that whole year. I was driving an hour and a half to Woodstock, and I got injured in October of 2021. And I'm going to be honest, I really didn't learn much there. I wouldn't want to say it was a waste of time. I feel like any experience that I go through, it's for a reason.
Yes.
But it was very sad that you trust people to teach you something. You know, you put the time, the effort, the money also, the finance, and after a year, it was just like nothing, you know? Also, I took 2 years off after that. I was in a relationship at that time, and I was mostly focused on my relationship, and something gave me a spark to just come back, which was Reality of Wrestling. They gave me a chance to be in their show, and I think that's like, I guess, the push that God kind of gave me to be, this is where I want you to do this, you know, This is where I want you to go. And that's where the spark came back. I had my first match in September of 2023. That was horrible. It was a little embarrassing, but I think that also gave me the strength to just be like, okay, it gave me the strength to kind of make that decision. Yes, this is what I really want to do. This is what I want to do. This is what I got to push for. Now I have to find a trainer. And luckily I found Vic Capri, and he's been training me since, and also Diego de la Cruz from Texas. So we could say we started in September of 2023. Just because a lot of people have told me that 1 year that I was in PPW, that it didn't count. Literally, I didn't learn anything.
What is PPW?
Premier Pro Wrestling in Woodstock. Yeah. Like I said, there's no shade. Mm-hmm. It's just I mean, honesty. I really didn't learn much. Also, when I was there a month after I started, my dad passed away. He's the reason why I got into this also. Sorry, I've been in a funk already, like for 4 weeks. He knows about it. But yeah, so the reason why I got into wrestling also is because of my dad. This is where it comes with la raza, kind of proving my dad, like, hey, soy chiquita, pero picosa. And I just wanted to kind of show him, like, hey, pa, like I'm a strong little skinny chica. He didn't know that I was gonna do wrestling. It was gonna be a surprise. Like, I literally had everything figured out. I was like, okay, I'm gonna look for a school, which I did, which was BW. I'm gonna do training. Once I have my first match, boom, invite him to the show, not even tell him I'm part of it, and just surprise them. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. It was a fast also passing, like he passed away because of COVID.
Okay.
So it was very quickly. But, a week after he passed away, I started getting back to training. Like, it was just like, I can say it gave me even more fire to just do this, right? But that's why it was a little upsetting that I didn't learn at that promotion. Especially when that promoter knew it meant a lot. Like, it was going to mean a lot to me to have my first match. And I guess that was the sad thing, too, when people just see you as, like, eye candy. Mm-hmm. They just want to kind of use you just to get views. And for me, I mean, this is my first sport. I feel like como una niña chiquita, like a little girl, having my first, my first sport. And I don't have, like, how can I say it? Like, your parents are always the first ones to cheer for you. Mm-hmm. And sadly, I didn't have that. At least with my dad. My mom has been supportive, but that's been another thing, too, that she had kidney failure. She had a transplant 5 months after my dad passing. So my journey hasn't been easy, as probably a lot of people think. People just think, she's a cute face. She gets these opportunities easily. But let me tell you, it's not. I have a lot of, like, le debo que echar ganas, And it's not just for me, but it's for, like, the people out there, too. Like, the people that don't believe in themselves sometimes, so they just need to see somebody do it, too. It's like, for my age, doing wrestling as my first sport, I'm not athletic, but I'm here trying my best, And I think that's what a lot of people have noticed, like, que le echo ganas. Le echo ganas. And that's one thing that I guess my dad has always taught me, like, échale ganas y, don't give up. Mm-hmm. Don't give up and never let people bring you down. Because people are always going to talk. Mm-hmm. We all know that. Pero that's like how long I've been doing it for and the reason why I'm doing it too.
So obviously, you started wrestling for your dad. Was he a wrestling fan? Or why did you pick wrestling to be the outlet to show how strong you are?
So I will say it was mostly God making that decision for me. I'm a very God believer. I just had visions, dreams of a ring. Okay. So at first I was like, I think it's boxing or wrestling. And at that time I was actually watching Total Divas.
Nice.
Right? And
I was like, we all we're gonna cut that.
I was watching Total Divas, and then I don't know. I started getting into it too. I'm like, that's pretty cool. And there was one day I remember this clearly that I was driving by Lakeshore Drive, and I just had a vision of me being in a ring, big, like big audience.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, wrestling. Like, for some, I knew it was wrestling. Like, I'm not going to say my vision too much. I don't want to jinx myself, you know? But it was wrestling. So I'll say just God gave me that vision to pick that.
And then where did you draw your strength from after your father passed? Because obviously doing something, when you have a certain vision, I'm going to do this for this reason, and then it doesn't go through, or life changes, life happens. What kept you going? Because it's very easy in a situation like that where I'm going to do this for my dad, I lose him. Okay, I don't need to do this anymore. So what is it that got you to keep going and being here?
Sorry, guys.
Hey, no.
My mom.
Sorry,
Your mom.
La Reina.
Yeah, my mom, because, like I said, after 5 months of my dad passing, her transplant wasn't, it wasn't a success because she had to go through, 2 more surgeries. So she had 3 surgeries within 4 days. Wow. She was also in a, ventilator. So she was intubated, and she also had to take like physical therapy for 3 months because it was a big toll on her. Like, she lost so much weight, and she had to be on dialysis. So it's like my mom, just seeing my mom fighting for her life, for her kids, her grandkids, that gave me enough strength to like just keep going. And it's like, I'm also doing this for her too. I want to give her the lifestyle that she deserves. Like, I've told them, like, it's not just for me, it's for my mom, for my nephews, for my nieces, for my friends. Like, it's for everyone who just needs a person that, they can kind of relate to at times. I think a lot of people are just scared to open up because of, ay, que dirá la gente. And for me, it's just like, I want people to know that they matter, and then whatever dreams they have, they just have to fight for it. They have to fight for it, but también it's like not going to be easy. They have to put that work, because it's not just going to be given. It's going to be very tiring, but I would say like the outcome will be great, and also like, just my mom. She did have a transplant, November 2023. 2023. And that one was good. So she has now, her kidney. She's not on dialysis no more. So yay, mom. Good mama. Mama Barbie, we call her now. But it's my mom has given me the strength. She's gone through a lot. Last year, literally, like in November, I was having a match with Maggie Lee. My mom was at the hospital because they ended up giving her a flu shot, and she ended up paralyzed.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Yeah, she ended up paralyzed. I didn't tell the promoter nothing. Like, my mom literally told me, hey, go. Because I was a champ. I had to defend my title, and she was like, go. I'll be fine. And during that time, she was in the hospital for a month, and I was sleeping in the hospital.
Wow.
Going to work, going to train. So that's what it's like. A lot of people don't really know what I've gone through, but it's like it's been tough. Just seeing my mom fighting for her life every time. It's like, and si ella puede, yo por qué no?
Yeah.
She's the one showing me, we're strong. Like, like if you see her, she's literally 80 pounds. She's so small. And she wasn't like that before her kidney, failure. Pero si la ves bien chiquita, pero chingona for sure. So I guess, that's where I got it from too. Because I'm tiny but mighty.
For me, like the last episode we talked about a little bit that.
Thank you.
I started watching wrestling a long time ago. I'm 26 years of watching wrestling. Oh. So for me, like, obviously I got the entertainment part of it. My dad kind of popped the bubble first night watching it of, the reality of what professional wrestling is. But it didn't stop me. If anything, it gave me a little bit more interest in it, because now, even at a young age, I was like, all right, we see the characters, but we don't see the people that are playing these characters.
Mm-hmm.
So as I got older, I just got more and more intrigued with what was going on, behind the mask, the people that are playing these characters, so that's why when Lewis approached me about doing this series, I was so excited to do it, because too many people lack respect for professional wrestling without knowing what they're disrespecting, because they're quick to call it fake, but they won't step into the ring to take a bump. And people won't pay attention to what the reality is of these wrestlers and the struggle, especially at this level. There's people in the WWE on the lower side of things that aren't making a lot of money. So imagine the local wrestlers. They bust their ass to do something that they're passionate about, and they don't get their dues for it. They don't get paid for it. So a lot of times local wrestlers have to put in on their own while working the job and while going through the struggles that you just talked about, and still disrespect what they're doing. So I was really excited to be part of the series, to hear stories like that, to show that you guys are people too. And I never liked when it was like, oh, people are, my life's so hard. It's like, you don't know what people are going through. Because there's certain people that have to be strong enough to not let other people in as to what they're going through.
Yeah.
If people looked at you and was like, oh, she's just walking over. Yeah. Because of the character, because of the name, without knowing the story and knowing how much you fought to be where you are. And I think that's being able to speak about it, being open about it, and showing that there is no stigma to it is just going to help so many more people be able to chase their passions like you are. Especially younger people. We talked about in the first one too, in the Latin community, like mental health is not a real thing, but it's sometimes it's difficult for a younger person to grow up in an old school household like that, to go through these kinds of struggles and think no one's going to understand me. So hopefully people can hear this podcast and see, the different walks of life that people have, and see we have more in common than we have different.
Yeah.
So it makes more sense for us to work together to make it through than to put each other down. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you for sharing, because I know that's difficult. But that just sharing your story shows the strength that you have. Thank you.
Just following up with what Tazz said, I have spoken about it in my YouTube channel about vulnerability is strength. And you being here crying and letting your emotion out, it just tells us how strong you are. And the amount of work and mental resilience you have to go and step into that ring, knowing that both of your parents went through, and the strength it takes for you to step in that ring, have that callous, and not allow anybody to stop you from living your dream. That itself, it's very respectable. I didn't really understand the life behind the scenes, right? I got more into it once I started getting to know professional wrestling. I went to shows, but then I always saw you guys just act like nothing, and I'm like, how did they keep this aura? How can you be so bright out there going through so much pain? Not knowing you and seeing you and looking at your stories, watching you even come out of that ring, it's like, wow, that's a lot of mental strength. That's hard. How do you do that?
I mean, also therapy. Therapy has helped me a lot. I will say my therapist, he helped me a lot.
Yeah.
Helped me so much. I can't say his name right, but I was a mess before I started wrestling too. Because I was in a bad relationship, dealing with, I'm going to say, like, we're going to be real here, right? With a narcissist. So after that, like, man, like, God, I'm gonna say, like, God really, really has been with me. He has shown me signs. He literally gave me, like, how I explain it is, you guys seen, like, La Rosa de Guadalupe, right? Like, where they give you, like, the white rose and the, like, kind of like that air. That's how I felt like kind of like an eye-opener. Like, seeing how badly he used to talk to me, like, my past relationship. And, I don't know if you guys ever had the experience, but it's just like I heard the voice kind of saying, let go and hold my hand. I cannot bless you if you don't let go. And literally as soon as I left that situation, 2 weeks later, my mom had her transplant.
Wow.
So it's like God has really been with me.
Yeah.
And also I feel sometimes silly. That's me. That's just me. But God, man, it's not easy also having faith sometimes, because when my mom was in the hospital, the time that she was paralyzed, I had to just say, like, I trust you. And that's hard sometimes, like, to be like, I trust you, like, to make that to have that faith, like, whatever you decide, it's on, like, in your hands, and luckily, everything went well, pero having faith, I mean, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard, but I know God is also, I'm not trying to do this all, like, really, right, but it's just like, I know God is going to do, He's going to give me good things, and I, like, trust Him and believe in Him. And so far, things have gone pretty well. Even though there's thunderstorms, in the middle, aquí por acá, pero right now, we're good.
Yay.
We're good. We've been getting blessed, definitely.
So how did you get in touch with You Are More? When did you meet them?
We had a very, like, similar story with both of our dads.
Yeah.
So we connect with a lot of Midwest wrestlers here. She's one of the ones we connected with. Early on, she modeled some shirts for us. And yeah, we've been friends since. Lulu is very special in the sense that she's like an anchor friend, because anywhere you put her, like, she grounds us all, but then she attracts more friends around her.
Yeah.
So she's like very, just like in the same sense that Missa is, right? Like, we know each other because of Missa. We introduce her right away to, like, our artists and Jordan, and no matter where she goes, she anchors, and more people come on board of the Lulu shit. And you see it, like, right? Like, you guys see her stories. She's got a ton of friends. Yeah. And, when we look for people that want to wear our mission statement, we take it to heart, right? We don't want to just give those 3 words to any person. And, now her sharing her story and what mental health means to her, not just her sharing her story, but what it means to our brand too, to have somebody represent us like that. Yeah, like, you couldn't ask for a better friend or model. Like, literally, figuratively, and what she's doing. Yeah. So yeah, it was like a couple of years ago, right?
Yeah, it was like
you were going to, I think, Reality Wrestling? Yeah, and then she was going to model some shirts there for us.
I think it was like the end of 2023.
Yeah. She helped me out connect with some of the wrestlers over there, and I would arguably say, brought You Are More, the brand, over to Texas. And a lot of people started getting to know the brand over there, and then started growing, spreading, because of her.
Wow.
So.
I've been, like, to Texas a lot.
Yeah.
The first time I met you, I thought you were from Texas.
People from Texas think I'm from Texas. They say that I have the Texan accent, and I'm like, oh, okay. I'm from Texas, y'all.
So what is the You Are More brand meant to you since connecting with them?
It means having a lot of also strength. Anytime, like, you guys might see me always happy and giggly, right? But there's times that I'm waking up and I sometimes don't even want to get up. The depression is pretty bad. But the brand you are more means like just keep going. You know, keep going. Believe in yourself. You're not alone because everyone goes through it. Even people that don't think they're going through it. You know? So it means everything. Everything. It's just courage, strength, especially when it comes like mentally. I think the mind is what controls everything. If you say, hey, I'm going to have a good day, guess what? You're most likely going to have a good day. Yeah. So that's what it means. It's everything, you know? And also not just the brand, but the people behind it, like Luis and Jose. They have helped me so much where, you know, I call them my brothers because anytime I'm having like a moment, I know I can text them, call them, and they'll be right there. So it's not just the brand itself, it's just the people, the person, you know? Two over there too, wearing the Lulu shirt. It's, they're doing an amazing job, and I'm happy to be part of it too. But that would be my answer. Everything. It means everything.
We talked about it in the first episode, and I think it is a credit to Luis and Jose because it's more than a brand; it's a community. Mm-hmm. You know, I for us old school wrestling fans, when you know, growing up, wrestling wasn't always the most popular thing to watch. You know, so a lot of times, like kids would make fun of you for being a wrestling fan, and to this day, I think that's still out there. Mm-hmm. You know, but as a little kid, you know, going through school, and I was really the only wrestling fan in my grammar school, you know, so if I'd be going through the mall or something and I'd see someone with a Steve Austin shirt or the Rock shirt, right away it built like, hey, I see you.
Yeah.
You know, and I made a reference to the first episode that's what they're building now, mm-hmm. But it's just, it's bigger and it's more than just wrestling. Yeah. Now you see someone with a You Are More shirt, and right away there's going to be a connection there, mm-hmm. you know. And I think that's just that's the special community, that's the special bond because I met Missa before I met them, you know, mm-hmm. and she would talk very highly of them, you know. And then mm-hmm. Instagram's a great way to start really getting to know someone before you get the opportunity to meet them.
That's how we met. Instagram.
And then I'd go through their Instagram and start following, and I started seeing all the posts. I was like, This is legit.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, there's no way the people behind this are even more legit than what they're showing. And then we get the opportunity to meet them. It's like, they're more legit than that, you know? Yeah. And it goes back to like the wrestling side of thing. And I think that's why wrestling, I always said wrestling is more than just a sport. It's more than just entertainment, you know, and people don't get it, you know, but wrestling is, I think, the best way for this community to grow in because it's the same thing. You know, the logo is a mask, you know, but there's people behind that mask, mm-hmm. you know, once you get to see behind the mask, and the mask is pretty cool,
yeah,
but the people behind the mask is even cooler, mm-hmm. and that's what this community is building. And I was really excited to just be part of this and to be able to get to know people behind the mask and have these conversations because they're needed. So many people are either scared or too prideful to have them, and I was one of them for a long time. I've had this podcast. We've been doing this for through 2-3 years now.
Like 4.
Oh.
Time flies.
Yeah, that's true.
Not like
it's named after you. Nene knows. I guess Nene knows how long
Nene knows everything. Hell yeah.
But I really didn't open up about my battles with mental health until right before we did the first episode of Suplex the Stigma. You know, because I was like, I'm not going to be the person that goes into this series and it was like, well, why is he doing this, you know? So and I didn't want to do it because, you know, I'm a coach, you know, I coach fighters got to be tough and stuff, you know. So for me, they're always in the back of my mind, I couldn't show it, you know. And I've known her for 10 years, her sister for 10 years. They've been helping the gym grow for so long. They only see me cry a handful of times, you know, because I would always do that behind the scenes, you know. But now I'm able to speak about it a little bit more, and they know it. They see when I need it,
Yeah.
You know, the same way you said you can call them whenever, you know, I have the honor and the privilege and the pleasure to see them on a daily. So they know my faces, they know my tones. And I was glad when you mentioned the first time, the people that are going through it that don't know they're going through it, because I relate to that. I didn't know I was going through it until someone helped pull me out of it. Yeah. And then I was like, oh, this is what peace feels like. Yeah. I thought I had it. I thought I was experiencing it, but apparently I wasn't, you know? So and like what Lewis was saying, how now I think people are coming together and it's just helping the community grow and expand even more, you know, because now it's truly killing the stigma, where we can talk about this and find what's really what we have in common to help each other grow, you know? So for me, that's everything.
Yeah. Like, also, you know, with like Mexicans, it's always like, no puedes llorar porque, you know, te hace like look weak.
Yeah.
My dad actually, he toughened me up for sure. When he would see me cry, he's like, no llores, no llores. And the whole, literally, it took me some time. I wouldn't cry. And then with therapy, my therapist had told me, like, it's okay to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when I would talk to him, I would try to, like, not to cry. He's like, you need to let it out. And I think that's the thing. Sometimes people don't want to cry, but crying releases a lot of that, like, stress, you know, that anxiety, too. So I think también con la raza, like, you know, the most, like, we have to stop that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, even for men, oh, you can't cry. Oh, you have feelings? You know, like, or like, you shouldn't have feelings. That's what they say, right? Yeah. But it's like,
man up.
Yeah, man up. So I think like all of that has to change, and it starts with us.
Right.
Break that chain, you know, break that chain. Like with my nephews, like that's something that I'm very, like, obviously trying to be a good aunt también and teaching them different ways, not like how we grew up. You know, not saying that my parents abused me or anything, but just changing the way that, also learning how to apologize to kids.
Yeah.
They have feelings. Yeah. You know, it's like, if we're humans, we make mistakes. So like my sister-in-law, she'll, like, if she's at wrong, she will tell her kids, I'm sorry. Yeah. And I think that's something that, I mean, I'm not a parent, so I don't want parents to attack me over here, right? But I feel like that's something that kids also need to start hearing, like, hey, I'm sorry, you know?
Yeah.
Or sometimes people have stressful days, and we, like, let's say I have a stressful day. Well, I wouldn't do this, but some people have stressful days and they'll just like attack someone just because.
They just blow up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's where therapy, for me, that's where it helps, because you just release all that stuff. And it makes you also a better person once you start learning how to manage certain things too, like feelings, you know? I don't know. I mean, like, that's just me, but.
Yeah.
I think with the old school, I'm not that old. I'm only 30. I'll be 34 in September. You know, but I relate to the old school a lot, you know, and but I've seen where it's just communication matters, you know, because, you know, and I've had conversations with my dad before about these things, you know. Growing up, it was different than what him and I have now. Not that it was ever bad, you know. My dad, I wrestled in high school. My dad never missed a wrestling match. He'd leave work early to be there for my wrestling matches.
Go, Papa.
You know, so, and I never asked him to. Like, wrestling in high school was my first sport. Like, I never did anything before that. Like, I was just video games and WWE growing up. You know, so chose a crazy sport to start with. You know, but and I lost a lot. You know, it took me 3 months to win my first match. You know, and my dad still showed up every single time. You know, but it was, I've seen the growth with him, you know, and to be able to have the relationship that I have with him now, because there were times when I was a kid, he would tell me, he wouldn't tell me don't cry. He would just say, if you're going to cry, go to your room. You know, so one time I did that because I was going to cry. So I went to my room and then kind of got yelled at. I was like, I did exactly what you told me to do, you know. But then fast forward years later, when Eddie Guerrero passed away, I was 14, you know, so I was not young, but I'm not old, you know. And I was an Eddie fan really just the last 2 years of his life, you know, when he really started like inspiring, like once he made it to the WWE Championship, I was like, he's short, he's Hispanic. There's hope for me after all, you know, because all you watch wrestling, there's a bunch of big guys, you know, and Eddie really showed that he broke through that barrier.
Yeah.
You know, and my dad's the one that saw the news before me, you know, because our internet was down. This was before we had internet on our phones, like right there, you know, so our internet went down and my dad's working on it and he called me over and it says, you know, WWE SmackDown Superstar. And it used his full name, Eduardo Gory Guerrero. Mm-hmm. So he's like, who is that? I was like, that's Eddie. You know, and then me thinking to my child is like, I got to be strong. Right. Because it felt like a knife in the heart, you know? So I was like, oh, cool. So I went back in my room. I was playing a video game. I think I was playing Madden at the time, you know? When he called me over, I paused it and I came over back to my room and I finished my game, you know? And then like, all right, I'm going to go to sleep. Said goodnight to my parents and went to bed and instantly just started bawling my eyes out. Yeah. And you know, my dad heard, so I was like, oh no. And he comes in, he's like, are you crying? I was like, yeah.
You're going to make me cry.
He's like, why? I was like, Eddie. You know, and he sat with me for 2 hours as I cried for a man that I never met before. And he sat with me for 2 hours. And I told him, I was like, it's weird, but I feel like I lost a family. And he's the one that told me, he's like, we lost a family member through the TV. You know, so just hearing him understanding that, instantly that's like, and then we started communicating better, and that communication kind of helped to, I call him for everything. My dog gets sick and it's like, hey, that dog's got the shits, what am I doing, you know?
Dale pumpkin. White rice.
You know, but it starts with communication, you know, and sometimes it's hard for, I think, the older generation to understand that the newer generation kind of has to teach you some things because things are different. Yeah, even as a coach, I'm learning that I had old school coaches that taught me the sport of MMA was very different when I started than what it is now, just like what professional wrestling is. You know, so now I'm having to learn a little bit of the new school while still like, hey, this is how we used to do it, and it worked because it got us here for a reason. You know, so there's certain things we got to blend them. It's not that one school is better than the other. It's not that one person gets the harder challenges than the other. Everything's just different. Yeah. You know, but once we work together, that's when everything kind of comes together and we can make things a lot easier for each other.
Oh, yeah.
You know, by just being there.
Yeah. Well, I love the connection between MMA and professional wrestling. It really wasn't until Tazz that I was introduced to professional wrestling, but you know, I've done it for 10 years now, so life in MMA is a little bit different, right? We actually fight. Not that you guys don't fight. I don't want to cause any. I'll be like, no, my bruises. No, but I'm to be the bad guy today, all right? That's why I'm here. She's playing heel right now. She's like, no. She's like, fight. Just kidding. No. But I really do see the connection, the similarities with professional wrestling fans, with people. But just going back to the mental health aspect, people in the MMA community, very tough exterior. We have a lot of fighters that don't want to be vulnerable, you know, and so when we hear stories like this and having someone like Tazz advocating for mental health, now collaborating with you guys, it just shows our MMA community that it's okay.
Yeah, it is okay.
Like, you guys are paving the way and it's allowing other people to express themselves.
Because professional wrestlers are tougher than what we do.
No, you guys are definitely very tough. No, that's what I'm saying, like on the exterior. Like, exterior people see scripted professional wrestling, but that shit is real. That shit is so real.
You guys gotta see my back.
Right. No, it's scary. It's very scary. It's scary. I don't know how you guys do it.
Girl, I don't even know how I do it. And I do it like, sometimes I'm like, am I really doing this? They look up.
You know, so I'm very happy that you both have introduced us and being able to come to this platform, show our viewers, our audience, and I'm just very thankful that you're here.
I'm very thankful for you guys having me here. thank you, Jose, too.
It's his house, so
Thanks for that. Yep.
What are some goals that you still have that you haven't accomplished yet?
I feel like so far, you see, with goals, sometimes I'm just like, this is hard because I've learned not to have expectations. Mm-hmm. So like that, I don't get disappointed either. The main thing for me as a goal is just to at least change one person, their way of thinking to like a positive, to like I said earlier, for them to like believe in themselves, you know? It's like, I know people know I'm a big Selena fan, but she listening to her music, anytime I was going through a breakup, listening to her music literally gave me that strength to be like, yeah, I got this. I don't need that guy. Like, you know, and that's where I say she kind of changed my life. Cause look at me right now with like Bidi Bidi Bum Bum, you know, it's like, and a lot of people say like, you should go for it. Wear like that purple one. I'm not trying to be like her, but the thing is like what I'm trying to say is how Selena is for me. I want somebody, like how would I say it? Somebody to see me like how I see Selena. Yeah. You know, like, oh, they're having a bad day. They can watch one of my interviews, one of my matches, and be like, I got this. So that's basically one of my goals. Just for somebody to at least be like, Lulu helped me get through a rough day, rough hour. That's like my biggest goal. You know, when it comes to wrestling, I always say I take it day by day. Whatever God decides to do, I start it. You know, if one day he's like, aquí ya stops, I stop. But that would be my goal. Just to be somebody's Selena, basically. You know? Yeah. Just make them happy and see that they matter. You know, everyone matters, but just in case whenever they listen to me, they're just like, yeah, she makes me happy.
Yeah, Nene dragged me to do this podcast like on a regular, because I was like, why am I doing this? You know, but it relates to that because she's like, if it helps one person, why not? Mm-hmm. You know, and that's what gets me. We were talking before we started recording and how annoying social media is, you know, and I hate doing it, you know, and you work so hard on a video and then it doesn't get any views, doesn't get any likes. And then Nene comes along and was like, you got no likes. Because I see 30 people that liked it, and that's 30 people that cared about what you put out there, you know. So
humble.
Yeah. Eso que mi mamá me dice, ser humilde.
My mom too, apparently.
She always tells me like, "Tienes que ser humilde." I'm like, Mom, I am.
You know, so I think with you being able to show people your true strength, because it goes beyond the ring. You know, that person's there. You know, so where can we find you? How can people find you? This is the part where you plug your social media.
I was gonna say like not my house.
No,
stay away from it.
We stay away from those things.
Yeah.
No. You know what? Before anything, I want not to interrupt.
Is this the face turn after the video? No.
She hits me with the chair.
Like I said, you know, it's always that one individual that will not tell you.
Yeah.
It's always that one person that's watching you and admiring you, probably wanting to meet you one day, maybe even telling their parents, I want to meet her. I am doing this because of her. And you may not even know that. You don't know who you're impacting, though.
Yeah.
You know, so maybe even this individual listening to this podcast might listen to it and say, you know what, it's okay to be myself. Yeah. It's okay to be my authentic self.
Yeah.
And it's okay to be La Reina.
Mm-hmm.
And then you never know, you might inspire the next Reina coming up.
Yeah.
Thanks to you.
A lot of little Reinas.
Or
Reyes.
Reyes.
Oh, okay. Reyes or Reinas.
You know, so just wanted to say and put it out there that you just never know, right? So, and maybe you win, maybe you're not going to know. And that's okay.
Yeah. It'll be okay too.
Okay. I'm done.
She had to finish with the face turn before cancel culture came for her.
She's like, I'm gonna remain here.
So go ahead, if you want to plug your
my social media on Instagram is Lulu_La La Reina _ Facebook and TikTok, because I do TikTok too. It's Lulu La Reina. Those are just it. For now, YouTube will be later on.
Got you.
And I think we got a word from the boss man over there about...
Hey, boss.
Did I pass, boss?
What's up, guys? Yeah.
about Suplex the Stigma in September.
That's right. So first off, I wanted to thank you guys again for doing this, because I think Lulu's kind of set the tone for future guests in terms of it being okay to literally cry on camera, it being okay to be vulnerable, it being okay to say, I struggled with this and now look at what, God did for me. Look what therapy did for me. You know, if you are struggling, knowing that you have a system, right? Connecting with people, being an anchor, right, for your friends, and getting people on the ship with you, right? Getting them out from where they are in that little abyss, right? Take as much people as we can. And I just wanted to thank you, because I feel like you're a light in a lot of people's lives. Personally, I feel like you really do. And maybe I'm guilty of it, but I know a lot of times you guys were just saying, like, sometimes we don't just tell people, right? So when you see the value and you see the beauty in someone, you tell them, right? If I can leave one message for anyone watching this, if you see something special and something beautiful in someone, tell them. Because a lot of the times we don't give people their flowers, and it could be the one thing that made them stay that day, right? Or fight another day, right? So I wanted to thank you, as well as thanking you guys. But now to shamelessly plug the Suplex the Stigma event. So Suplex the Stigma, September 27th, the Brat Stop, Kenosha, Wisconsin. We're going to have Lulu La Reina there, and we're going to reveal a match right now. You're wrestling Jasmine Allure and Sophia Rose.
You're putting me against Jasmine?
Wow. So, three-way dance there. It's going to be a great match. I can't wait.
It's going to be so good.
It's going to be so good. But yeah, there you go. A little reveal.
Let me just say something. Girls, be careful with the chancla. That's all I gotta say.
The chancla's making
the chancla. Okay?
The chancla, confirmed. For Suplex the Stigma.
The Barbie chancla.
A little poster here, chancla confirmed. All right, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right. Thank you guys. That was awesome. I can't think of a better way to end it, so we're gonna end it there. Thank you guys. Thank you, Lulu.
Thank you guys.
Nene. I don't want to speak to you for a little bit.
Can we do a little bitty bitty bum bum dance?
You can do it.
Not me. We all have to do it.
I don't. How does that go?
My hips lie, so I'm a.
Your hips are stiff. That's the difference.
I'm a Shakira guy. This is my heel turn. All respect to Selena. It's just Shakira.
That's
no
the outro.
Bum.
Yep.
No bitty bitty bum bum, guys. You guys got to watch it when I'm wrestling.
Watch it September 27th. The Brat Stop.
There you go.
Thank you guys for listening, and we'll catch you all back next week.